There are millions of us, those who regularly or occasionally use the services of underground railway. In a big city, metro is the thing that becomes a lifesaver when you need to quickly get from point A to point B without stops, traffic jams, rush hours, and other external disasters. For example, when you come to the capital from suburbs and you have to travel through the whole city, this is where the metro has no competitors, and this is a global practice. Cars are left parked while people dive underground. This way they save both time and money. By spending just 8 hryvnias and not much more than 35 minutes on a trip, you can cross Kyiv from end to end. The first passengers, once the metro opened in 1960, paid their fares with paper coupons worth 50 kopecks. There was a letter M on the coupons, and in fact, this was how they entered the metro. Those were checked by controllers at the stations, because initially there were no turnstiles. Turnstiles appeared a bit later, in September 1961. These were 5 kopek coins, which had to be dropped into the coin slit for a passenger to be allowed in. Passengers, those who used the metro often, of course, stocked up on them. Our people are thrifty, so they gathered 5 kopek coins ahead of time, or exchanged money with the machines on the spot. Exchange machines used to operate at each station in the capital's metro. Nowadays, these functions, unofficially of course, got taken over by the metro cashiers. And on the other side of the window, passengers are rushing to the trains. On their own, in pairs, in whole groups, all of them, so different, young and old, are swallowed by the metro, only to immediately open its doors to new arrivals at the station. Passenger traffic is a cyclic concept and depends on the time of day. In the morning and evening, there are more people. During the day, fewer. At night, the metro is closed to passengers. But on this side of the partition, in the ticket office, work never stops. It continues round the clock. Shifts here are 12 hours long and divided into day and night. By the way, in the Kyiv metro, cashier is a traditionally female occupation, and this post is considered respected and well paid here. However, it is also a very responsible one. Every night we perform a scheduled unloading of ACMs. These are automatic checkpoint machines. After that we go to the token register office and count, debit them, then bring them back to the ticket office as a reserve. I take a bag of tokens unloaded from an ACM and pour them into the token counting machine.
З жетонами, які вигрузили за КП, та висипаю в жетономічильну машинку. Обов'язково треба...
It is imperative to comply with safety rules when counting tokens. The machine must be placed on a dielectric mat, and the tokens are pushed forward with a spatula.
Коврику та обов'язково підраховувати лопаткою.
I turn the machine on.
Включаю машинку.
And do the counting. Thus we count each ACM separately. The number of tokens appears on display. So in our ACM number 8, there are 1,032 tokens. This happens every night, at every metro station. The most important part, daily revenue, is carefully calculated, recorded, and in the morning the reports along with the so-called bank bag are transferred to a special service. Akademmistechko on the red metro line is considered one of the most profitable stations in this sense. Together with Lisova and Vokzalna, it brings the most income. Thus, on average, up to 10,000 tokens are sold here daily. Separately, they calculate the amount for entrance using contactless cards, transit passes, and other fare payment methods available in the capital. In 2015, the Kyiv metro became the 5th in the world to allow passengers to pay with the contactless payment card directly on the turnstile at all stations. Around 130,000 people use this technology in the metro daily. For passengers, it of course is advantageous in terms of time saved. There is no need to stand in line to buy tokens. In addition, this can save money. Trips recorded on the card in advance are paid at a discount. For example, if you use the metro often, the cost of a single trip will be only 6 hryvnias 50 kopecks instead of 8 hryvnias. If we speak about the work of technological networks, they work in real-time mode, in particular the fare payment system. In real time we can see the number of passes, the number of sales, etc. for all types of fare, all means of payment. For each station, for the metro as a whole, for each turnstile we can see each transaction in detail. For example, when analyzing some issue with passengers, we can see literally how the passenger went through each operation, what he did, how he replenished the card, how he used this card. In addition, there are video surveillance tools to be used as an aid, meaning we can also check things using video surveillance records. Of course, the metro is not just a transport. This is a complicated engineering complex, and despite all the accessibility to passengers, the organization is quite closed off the prying eyes. Each station here is an autonomous metro facility, or an entire city in a separate state. Akademmistechko is quite interesting. In principle, this is the second station in Kiev, after Poznyaki, which has a second level. But while in Poznyaki this was done intentionally in order to create a transfer hub later, either to a light rail or to the left bank metro line, which would run from Osokorki to Troyeshchina, in Akademmistechko the idea with these balconies, which were built above the tracks, is not quite so unambiguous. They aren't used for separation of flows. In fact, they are practically unused. No transfers were planned there initially. No technical rooms, such as, for example, they did at Hippodrome. There is no exits from these balconies. This is Akademmistechko station. This station marks the end of the ride. Akademmistechko is the end station on the metro's Red Line and one of the busiest in the metro. It was opened on May 24, 2003. By construction type, it is a 3-span low-depth columned station. The walls here are lined with gray and white marble in accordance with the original design, and the floors are finished with gray and red granite. Akademmistechko station has 2 levels. Its galleries are located above both tracks. For a while, they used to contain shopping facilities. You can get here from the ticket halls, as well as using 2 staircases in the center of the platform. The railings are lined with white marble, just like the columns supporting the galleries. On the edges there are mounted stained glass inserts. The clustered chandeliers with milky white spherical lamps also give a festive look to the station. I created all architecture of the station myself, although we have an author team there, let's just say planning. Even where I wasn't the author, most of the drawings were mine. First, we were the ones who did the Poznyaki station way back then. And these tiers, this gallery, it was quite a good idea. It was very convenient, not needing to go down, but just passing across the platform and reaching lobby. Moreover, I think it'll be very easy to install elevators there. Just remove one staircase in the middle, install elevators and get directly to the gallery. I live in the neighborhood myself, and I remember it when there was no metro there. It was so rural, not a village, but sort of backwoods. Akademmistechko station got its name from the nearby residential area. Its construction began back in 1962. A large number of research institutes, dorms for graduate students, residential buildings that were put into operation, all this infrastructure was originally intended for Kiev's scientific elite. It turned into a sort of academic neighborhood, or just Akademmistechko. The station's project name during early stages, by the way, sounded like Paladina Avenue, in honor of the outstanding biochemist who worked in Ukraine for a long time. Paladina Avenue remained where it is, but the metro station near it got called Akademmistechko.
А еще на Академии есть такой вот памятник
In addition, Akademmistechko has this monument to, let's say, perhaps certain ambitions. There are escalators leading out to the street, which have barely ever worked since the opening. Firstly, they had a new type of construction, which did not show itself very well. Secondly, they lack a clear status regarding whose balance they're kept on, who should service them. It seems that they belong to the metro, but at the same time the metro doesn't really need them, since they're on the street, not in the enclosed territory that gets locked down for the night. This is why the metro is not in a great rush to take them up. Why would they need a property that isn't even quite on their territory?
Имущество, которое находится даже не совсем на их территории.
These escalators, with an elevation height of 5.2 meters, were manufactured at the Bolshevik Metropolitan Plant and installed in the subways leading to the station. However, their further fate is still unknown. But in the future, Akademmistechko will lose its status of the final station. The metro administration plans to extend the Red Line to the west. The next station will be Novobilichi, located near the similarly named capital's residential neighborhood. As for the plastic tokens, an unenviable fate awaits them in the Kyiv metro. These means of payment will completely disappear from operation very soon. They will remain at best honorable exhibits in the collection of capital's metro museum, among similar artifacts in a display case under thick glass. This coin here, as we said before, is from 1961. For a long time, it in fact was used to pay a fare at coin receptacle. The first coin for entering the metro appeared in 1992. There were copper tokens like this one, costing 50 kopecks. This is how they looked, while they didn't last long either. In 1993, as we said, these appeared, transit passes, with a magnetic strip, and in 1994 the copper token was replaced with a blue like this one. Plastic has also changed more than once. In 2000 it was changed to green, in 2008 to blue, then to green again. Today we have green tokens. Now we withdraw tokens from circulation altogether. Only a very small number of passengers still use tokens by now, just around 25%. And this is an outdated method for paying the fare. With the advent of the new millennium after 2000, information technology has invaded our lives so quickly that the transition to purely electronic means of payment has become obvious and indisputable. The metro system is no exception. With the help of electronic readers, special built-in chips, it is possible to obtain objective information, for example, about the actual passenger traffic of a separate station. After all, just the capital's metro alone has 23 categories of privileged passengers, and this is no less than every fourth. The city is introducing a single ticket, and there is such a global vision that Kyiv should have a universal travel ticket for all modes of transport. Whatever you use, a minibus, a trolleybus, a bus, the metro, you have one card, you touch it to the reader. Or there is a mobile app nowadays. That is, you work with a single tool. Accordingly, for this purpose, Kyiv Pass Trans needs to remove one-off coupons, replace them with this tool, and in the metro, remove tokens and other means of payment, and replace everything with electronic means of payment. The process of retiring tokens is gradual and has already lasted for more than a year, but has an end date. October 31st, 2019 is the day when a token can be used to get past a turnstile for the last time, and from November 1st, respectively, only electronic payment methods will be used. The capital's beneficiaries can still use the Kyiv resident card. Passengers who have national privileges with the original document will enter the metro system through station control. Capital school children with a school ticket and children younger than 7 years for free. The electronic ticket will start working everywhere in the Kyiv metro as usual on the last day of October. The doors are closing. The next station,